Good afternoon, Professor. This is Francisco Grijalva, and I'm going to give you my oral presentation of the career fair. First of all, I wore professional clothing. I wore my Aloha shirt, and I wore my slacks. But I noticed that some people were professionally attired and some people weren't. One thing that I noticed with one of my first interviews was the Honolulu Museum of Art. They sent two of their employees over there. They were younger. To me, that was a little more approachable because I felt like I could have more of a banter, if you will. So I went up to them and I asked them. They had multiple jobs, and the job that I was interested in was their security service. And they were very friendly, very kind. They made good eye contact, very good with technology. They showed me the multiple aspects of the job, and the kind of skill sets that they were looking for was just like dependable, and dependable and reliable. And then they said reliable, so I was like, well, what's the difference? And then, well, it's like dependable is that you're there on time, and then reliable is that you get the jobs that they're expected from you, you get them done. I liked how they clarified that. And then another aspect was a love for art. I like that they want to hire people that care about art. I thought that was really just deeper than what their actual job applications, because some people just do the job for money, which is fine. But I like that. I thought that was really cool. When I asked them what kind of qualities do you look for a person, one main aspect was the not only liking art but having a focus on, and it doesn't mean that you need to know a lot about art. Just meaning having a respect for other people's work and things of that nature. Another thing they asked for in qualities were dependability. I said dependability, I'm sorry. And when I mean dependability, I'm meaning how you explain things and knowing where certain arts are in the museum, understanding the layout, understanding that they have different not occasions, but actual different areas in which they're going to have a different motif. And I thought that was very interesting. So now I'm going to talk about Sharon Williams, and I have their job application right here. Him is Deuce. I met him. He was a very nice man. Made eye contact, shook my hand. I had professional attire, black tie, shirt. He made me feel really comfortable. I am in no way or fashion interested in selling paint, but he was a great salesman. He made me feel comfortable, made me want to ask more about his company. They had multiple positions open, and what was really interesting was that he asked, or not asked, but he expressed that you can start an entry-level job and that they like to build their employees up to the higher level jobs, and that you give you training there. So, and then they had multiple departments that weren't like, say you're not really a front of the office kind of guy, you're in the back office kind of person. They had storage rooms, drivers, sales representatives, sales management team members. And all these things were not very interesting to me, but the way he was speaking, the eye contact, the soft demeanor, meaning soft, I mean like he would explain himself in a way that he made sure that I understood what he was saying, and he would ask questions like, oh yeah, so why are you interested in this company? And I said, well, I like paint, because I just came from the art museum station, so I was like, well, I like paint, I think it's interesting. And at first I thought they were painters, but no, they sell paint. So I thought that was really cool. And my last interview, well, I had 4 of them, but I'm going to speak about this other one, which was not Prince Waikiki. They actually have a lot of jobs they offer. Mainly is a lot to do with customer service or cleaning. I really didn't like the interview itself. When I first got there, I said, hi, my name is Francisco Grijalva. Do you mind if I do a small survey while I ask these questions? Because I'm really interested in your site. And they were like, sure, no problem. But and they were nice and they were cordial and they said all the right things. So I'm not trying to knock them down. I'm saying they didn't make me feel comfortable where I felt like, hey, I can express myself and I can show you who I am, show you the type of person that I am. I always felt there was a very strong professional barrier. They told me quality things. They told me all the right things. They said, like, we really care about customer service. You really need to work with people. Some of their skill sets were having passion in what you do, and I'm listening to them. I'm really listening to them, and I'm like, well, are you passionately talking to me right now? Are you really making me feel like a customer? No, you're making me feel like you're going through the motions, and you're probably not going to hire me. So you're just kind of being nice and polite. That's how I felt. I said in class that they would be sitting down when they were talking to me, and I don't like being above a person when I talk to them. I think the symbolism is just terrible. So I bent down and so I can make eye contact with them, and and it just seemed like every effort that I made to be more personable, use my soft skills, was just one. I couldn't get through that barrier. They were just bored, they were tired, and they were kind of over it. And they were being polite and they were doing what they needed to do because this is their obligation. But that energy of caring for our conversation, that energy that says, hey, I know this might not go anywhere. I know that you might not even apply for our job, or we might not even hire you. But I mean, we're still engaged in conversation. There's only 24 hours in the day. You might as well make it a nice conversation, a memorable one if you can. And I asked really, really strong questions such as, like, what kind of skills you look for in a person. And they're very general, on time, caring, people orientated, and everyone had a general question. But when it came to, or general answer, but when it came to qualities, they always got a little stumped because they associate skills with qualities. And qualities are such as, like, do you have good soft skills? Can you appropriately recognize the situation and know to de-escalate the situation or to make a person feel more comfortable? Do you understand that to be a leader is not just telling people what to do, but sometimes leading by example, or both, or being a quality instructor or tutor, showing others how to do things so that they're capable of doing it themselves. Those kind of qualities are what I was expecting them to say, but they had a hard time saying it. They were just kind of saying the same thing over and over and over again until the interview was over, or I would reiterate these. So are you looking for, and what I just said right now, which is a quality person that understands situations because you're talking to customer service, and they would say, oh yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. So I would have to be force feeding them certain answers that were appropriate. So I was just like, you guys are a hotel, and don't get me wrong, they were super polite and they knew how to express themselves and they knew how to say the right things. They just seemed like they were over it. And then another one I wanted to talk about, just because I got a little bit extra time, was there was I forget the actual program's name, but it was a Liliha Swimming Corporation, and they teach swimming to young children. I thought it was a cool job. You go and teach how to swim. They were very personable. You have to want to work with young children, have to have a lot of patience. These are the skill sets, have a lot of patience. And then another aspect of it is knowing when to be stern with instruction, and knowing when to be more flexible when it comes to understanding the person's personality. And I thought that was really good because they have they talked about a lot about soft skills. Because with children, you have different types of personalities. You have people that want to be led and people that want to be leaders, and they're kind of a little bit more selfish because they don't know how to use their empathy as well. So understanding where they are not only in a developmental level, but also in an emotional level, is a great way of using your soft skills. And I like that they told me, like, right away, they're like, hey, we need a person that knows how to work with children and understand these certain dynamics. And that's great because now I know what I'm getting into as an employee. I understand that I'm going to be teaching children and I'm going to be teaching different types of personalities, and that every single day it might be different. And I really enjoyed that kind of honesty between an employee or a possible employer and a possible employee. But yeah, those were my 4 interviews. Thank you, Professor. Let me know if you need another audio, you need me to expand on these ideas. This is my first one that I'm sending you. Please give me any critical criteria. Thank you so much.